Peace, peace, peace. We are live, and I wanted to explain this thing to you that sometimes I do. Okay, and the thing is involving the Mother 32 and the good old Octatrack. Let's start over here in Octatrack world. All right, move this out the way. Cool. Start over here in Octatrack world. All right. So this is something I do for a couple of reasons. Okay, partly because sometimes I get in this I don't want to call it a cycle or a loop, but I get into this bag where it's like I get comfortable using my equipment a certain type of way, and before I delve into it anymore, I end up getting a new piece of gear. So I have to learn that 80%, and then I get something else and I learn that 80%. So so because of that, sometimes I have to learn workarounds that I really probably shouldn't have to learn. But but I think this workaround could potentially have some usages that some uses that are beyond me, and I think that you guys could benefit a lot from knowing this. All right, so what's happening is that I got a beat going. It's 120 BPMs. Okay, now now at 120 BPMs, I think I'm getting 4 bars out of this. Yeah, I'm getting 4 bar pattern, and I'm getting a 4 bar pattern, a 4 bar sequence rather, and I didn't want to have to tie two sequences together to accomplish what I'm doing to accomplish what I need to get done. All right, so let me just go ahead and mute some stuff so you can hear what I'm talking about instead of me just trying to explain it all crazy. Okay, so let's just hear the pad, all right, and you'll hear what it's doing. Let me get the Pam's new workout going first because I am going through the my mum made him pip slope. I'm going through the envelope. So let's start again. Here we go. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So what's happening? Okay. Stop you. So what's happening here is that I have the keys are extended to an 8 bar sequence. Okay. It's an 8 bar sequence, 8 bar pattern, whatever you want to call it. All right. I didn't. I have a base. I wanted my bass line to work with that, right? So, all right. So let's do a little bit more explaining. With that 8 bar pattern, right? It was real easy for me to do. I don't know if you guys understand electron language, and I'm gonna explain it to you. It's like a probability thing, right? So I click on here, boom, go over, and I can see the probabilities. So what's happening here on the Octatrack is cueing that pad sound, and what's happening is since it's a 8 bar loop, uh, but I'm working with a 4 bar pattern in the Octatrack, but the pad is actually an 8 bar loop, right? So this is what I do, right? So I don't have to like speed up the pad to make it fit into the 4 bar sequence, or I'm not doing anything like that. So what I'm doing is, all I'm saying is I'm making this trigger that's triggering the pad conditional, meaning that, okay, it only triggers once, it goes through that 4 bar pattern, it comes back through that 4 bar pattern again, doesn't trigger, so it's only triggering one out of every 2 times, right? So and times, by times I mean that 4 bar pattern. So it'll go through that 4 bar pattern once. It'll trigger on that first attempt, on that first run through that 4 bar pattern, and it won't trigger on that second run through that 4 bar pattern. Meaning that my whole 8 bar pad loop can play all the way through. Like it won't get re-triggered halfway through, since the pad loop is 8 bars, but the octatrack sequence is 4 bars. With me? With me? With me. Okay. All right. So the pad loop is 8 bars, but the sequence that I'm rocking in the octatrack is only 4 bars. So that's how I accomplished that. Okay. But I also want to get a bass line to rock with it, and this gets even a little bit more tricky. So this is the little tricky, icky, sticky, icky, tricky thing that I did. I'm about to show it to you. Let's get that centered right there a little bit better. Bong. So over here on the bass line, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute that. So I'm gonna explain before I do it. All right, so maybe not. So I took the filter off. I took the cutoff filter off the bass line so you could hear what's happening a little better. Remember, I'm only working with a 4-bar pattern, a 4-bar sequence in the octatrack, and I'm writing the bass line in the octatrack. I'm writing the mother is being triggered by the octatrack, but I'm writing the bass line in a 4-bar sequence. So repeat what I did, and remember, I could use conditions to say you go the first time through the 4 bars, but you don't go the second time through the 4 bars. All right, so here we go. Oops, look at the Pam's workout going again. Here we go. Okay. All right, and also like kind of what's happening here to explain the keys to you. The keys are almost moving just like in a half step, right? What is I going? I think I was going like some sort of like B natural 7th or something like that to like a what was it? A A sharp or something like it was like, yeah, I think it was an A sharp. They're just moving the half steps. So the keys are too close together for me to make the same bass line rock for both sections of that 8-bar pad loop. So what I did was, right, I just went ahead and pretended I didn't hear the second bar, okay, of the pads, and I wrote. It's like in the space of that 4 bars, I wrote both lines. Meaning, so if you notice on the bass line, right, boom, when the first time I go through the pads, I go doom 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 doom. Those hit at almost the same spot. So look, check out the trigs, right? Boom. So here's the first bar right here. That's the first bar. All right, and this is the bass part. Third bar. They're in the same spot. So basically, what I did was I wrote for the first pad, I wrote the bass line on the first and third bar, and for the second pad, I wrote the bass line on the second and fourth bar. So it feels like the bass line starts a little earlier with that first pad, and it starts a little later with that. Second pad. Okay, something just bugged out with the audio. My bad. But it starts a little later with that second pad. All right, and I made those conditional. So the only bass that you hear on the first round through of this bass line that actually has something on every bar of it. It has information on every bar of this bass line. But for the first round through, that first set of pads, right, all you hear is the bass line what's occurring on bar 1 and bar 3. For the second pad, because I have to jump up in key because the chord changes, right, all you hear is the bass line that happens on bar 2 and bar 4. And I did that by just making bars 1 and 3 play 1 out of 2 times, right? Only the first time out of 2 go-throughs. And I made bars 2 and 4 play only the second time out of 2 goes throughs. So I address the first pad with bass on bar 1 and 3, and I address the second pad with bass on bars 2 and 4 by using conditions on these trigs. Okay, so let's go ahead and hear it. I'll get the Pam's new workout working early this time, and we'll jump in. Third bar. And now we're gonna do it on the second bar. Hey, and on the fourth. Now first bar. We're gonna wait to the third bar now. Now we're gonna do second and fourth bar. So yeah, I basically got the opportunity to I spread the bass line out over 4 bars, but using conditions. I ran conditions for what seemed to be 8 bars. You dig what I'm talking about? So to address, like I said before, to address the first pad, I wrote a bass line on bar 1 and bar 3 and said, you guys only play when that first pad plays, and that's only through the first time of the first cycle of those 4 bars. Now, for the second part of that pad, I want bars 2 and 4 to play, and that's the second cycle of those 4 bars. And that's how I accomplished that. And I'm sure that you guys could do some really tricky stuff with that, okay? By writing sequences on different boxes at different bar lengths. You dig what I'm talking about? Writing sequences and on different boxes at different bar lengths. So yeah, that's that. And I'm also about to add some modules, possibly 1U modules to my rig. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm looking for a quantizer, something under $300, something for under $300 to add to the rig. You guys got any suggestions? I'll be more than welcome to take them. Also, Ramadan Mubarak. For everyone who observes or everyone who appreciates Ramadan Mubarak. All right, so the fast is on. All right, much love, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me and staying tuned and all of that good stuff. All right, and let's start Pam's new workout one more time. Triggering a shaker over here and a snap. Hey. Hey. Now I can turn that cutoff filter down. Here we go. Hey. Peace, y'all. 100.